Hey, welcome back to The Real Story. I want to throw some headlines at you. Are Girl Scout cookies safe to eat amidst heavy metal lawsuit? I mean, is nothing sacred anymore? 11 food companies targeted in ultra-processed lawsuit. This is going to continue to be in our face. So let's just talk about this. We are much sicker now than we were a generation ago, 2 generations ago. Just as a society, we're much sicker. Now, why is that? I suppose that's an open question, but I think everybody is very suspect that we are poisoning ourselves with chemicals. Everyone knows fast food burgers don't look like the photo that you see on the billboards. What does that have to do with the chemicals that are put in them? It all has to do with false advertising. Hiding the ball. There was a recent Burger King lawsuit where it claimed that the ads showed that the Whoppers were 35% bigger in the ads than the real thing.
All right, look at this side by side. There it is. There's a burger on the left. There's a burger on the right, okay? Do they look the same to you?
Look, there's something called puffery. Obviously, you're going to put your best foot forward in an ad. You're going to make it look as good as you can. But a federal judge said, no, this isn't just puffery. This moves beyond that. This is actually potentially false advertising. So he allowed the case to go forward. Let's be honest. When's the last time you pulled a burger out of a bag that looked like what you saw on the billboard? It just doesn't happen. And it's not just about the size of the burger. This is just the tip of the iceberg. There are real dangers out there. What's actually in our food that is making us sicker generation after generation? Well, as we get to looking at it, there are heavy metals in the food we're feeding our babies, little baby food. PFAs, pesticides in cookies. Even there's a discussion now about fluoride in toothpaste, and there are no warnings. Look, these are marketed to children and ultra-processed foods designed to hook kids for life. It's not about getting what you paid for. It's about getting what you thought was safe. We assume that the government is an overseer, a watchdog to what is allowed to get into the stores, allowed to get onto the shelves that we're feeding our babies. Let's look at the Girl Scout cookies lawsuit. What is actually alleged to be in these Girl Scout cookies at a level that matters? Aluminum, arsenic, cadmium, lead, mercury. You say, okay, I'm eating something healthy here. A lot of these things have more sugar than a candy bar. The baby food lawsuit. Heavy metals causing alleged brain damage, contributing to autism, ADHD, and ultra-processed foods lawsuit. Kraft, Heinz, Nestlé, Mars, Coca-Cola, all accused of designing UPFs that are linked to chronic disease and obesity. And the labeling lawsuits are on the rise. What does it mean when they say natural, real fruit, healthy, no artificial flavors? General Mills was sued over gushers, synthetic additives. Look, there are poisons in the packaging. Junk foods are engineered to addict. Whenever you start eating these, they are actually engineered chemically to cause you to crave them. The more you eat, the more you crave.
Do you like the Tootsie Roll Marshmallow Twizzler roll better than the Butterfinger Junior Mint Chocolate Chip Jujube roll?
Hey, call me crazy, but I just don't think Butterfingers go with Jujubes.
This isn't marketing, it's manipulation. When you put profits before people, people are going to get hurt. And when you've got consumers plus lawmakers that are responding, it's time. I mean, come on. We need to start pushing back. We're sicker generation after generation. We have a higher level of chronic disease among children than we've ever had before. There's $14 billion a year spent on food ads. 80% promote candy, soda, fast foods. Candy, soda, and fast foods. 80% of $14 billion. Now, kids see over 1,000 junk food ads a year. Hear what I just said. Kids see over 1,000 junk food ads a year. New York has a predatory marketing prevention act that's aimed to stop this. It limits deceptive food ads aimed at children. It targets digital ads for high sugar, low nutrition products. Fluoride, the Texas AG investigation, they're saying, look, do we really need this? Fluoride, to a degree, is good, builds strong teeth, right? But when it shows up in toothpaste and in water, you start adding this together, you can get too much, and that can be very toxic. Colgate and Crest are under fire. They're accused of targeting children with high fluoride products. High fluoride, not at low levels, not at healthy levels, linked to IQ loss. Now, how do we fix this? Well, there are 3 don'ts. Don't be quiet, don't believe everything you hear, and don't wait. Take a stand now. Small steps, a little at a time, across the rest of this year, across all of next year, can result in big results. We need to demand that big food companies stop the deception. If you just stop buying those products until they have truth in labeling, until they tell you what you're really getting, then they will immediately respond. Look, they're in business to make money, and they should be. We shouldn't hold it against these companies that they want to make a profit. They need to make a profit, or they won't be in business, and we need their products. But there needs to be a strong code about how they go about it. Demand that these big companies stop the deception and have transparency, and put your family's health first. Look, this is why Merit TV teamed up with the MAHA movement to demand change. Ads are meant to convince you to buy something. And they should. That's okay. Ads are supposed to do that, but they should also have truth in advertising. You need to do your homework. You need to educate yourself. Read the labels. You're responsible for you. And if you take a stand now, these small steps will add up. We can become an army. We can become a movement that can actually be heard by these companies. You can pick a food to swap out. Sugary sports drinks, for example. You can swap that out for coconut water. Seed oils for olive oil or avocado oil or beef tallow. Shop around the perimeter of the grocery store. Why? Because that's where they change foods out all the time, because those foods rot if they're not purchased and eaten, because they're natural, they're organic. They don't have all those preservatives in them. Foods are supposed to rot. They're supposed to go bad if they're not eaten. They're not supposed to last forever. That's why they're on the perimeter of the grocery store, so they're easy to get to, because they have to change them out often because they go bad. Introduce a new food to your children each week. Trust me, their palates are learned, and they'll find something in there that they like. So these are just little steps that you can take, but it takes action on your part, my part, all of our part. Don't begrudge the big food companies from making money. Just make sure they do it with transparency. And that's the real story. Wherever you're getting the real story, make sure you subscribe and follow. I'll see you tomorrow. Hey, Dr. Phil here. Your savings are at risk. With the economy on shaky ground, the dollar losing value, and a $2 trillion deficit, things could spiral. Don't wait for the worst. Take control of your financial future now. I trust Preserve Gold to safeguard my accounts, and I urge you to do the same. They're the only precious metals company I recommend. What are you going to do to protect what's yours? Claim your special offer and learn how to reinforce your financial future. Visit drphilgold.com to get your free precious metals guide from Preserve Gold. With gold prices recently breaking records and analysts predicting this trend to continue through 2025, you cannot afford to wait. As a bonus, you can get up to $15,000 with a qualified purchase from Preserve Gold. So don't wait. Visit drphilgold.com today.